SHALAM, where Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, come out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command GEN.YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true identity according to the Bible, and that the white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. The word devil simply means liar or deceiver. You already know we're going back into the curses of Deuteronomy. This is part 3 of a much needed class to teach our people, who it is that they really are and who their enemy truly is. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we're the modern day prophets of the Most High God. The Most High God, He's always had those that teach the people to keep His commandments. No matter what time period we're in, no matter what afflictions we were going through or slavery we're in, even under the white man's slavery, we had priests even back then. You can go back and you can find cave paintings of slaves that they'd be writing in Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew. They'd be drawing pictures of themselves and the brothers with their war bands on and war scarves, so on and so forth. Us as a people, we've always had our culture and our customs. It might have been a select few that would teach and that would keep it, but we've always had it. And the modern day priests of the Most High God, we've kept our culture, our customs, and we teach it to our people as a priest should. So we're in the I.S.U.P.K. Columbus class, history class. I'm breaking down a couple scriptures today about the afflictions we've gone through in the past and how they can match up till today. And if you want to get in class in Columbus, Ohio, you can go ahead and call 765-753-0173. And a priest will answer the phone, answer any questions that you got. And we're going to go ahead and go into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 4. I'll everybody get it right quick. All right, let's get it. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 24. Salaki. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee. What is this talking about here? That's talking about how our fields, will no longer be able to yield fruits. So you'll no longer bring forth what we need in order to survive. How has that happened in the past? You can go ahead and you can look at any city, any tribe throughout North America, South America, and you can look at all the famines that were caused throughout those lands. All the famines that wiped out thousands upon thousands of people. Us as a people, we have gone through so many famines that it's unreal. Famines that will just wipe off any other nation on the face of this earth. But since we're the Lord's chosen people, we survived such a thing. I'm saying, just like whenever the Spaniards first landed on North and South America, I'm saying, spreading all this disease, soon followed was famines. I'm saying, because the people, they weren't well enough to take care of the land and harvest crops. So they went through a certain period of time to where, hell, crops couldn't even grow. You know what I'm saying? Crops couldn't be harvested, so on and so forth, to where people were dying left and right from hunger. You know what I'm saying? So much so that damn near cities were wiped out from the famines that just ravaged our continents. I'm saying not only country, but continent. Famines ravaged North America when, you know what I'm saying, when our oppressor landed on these shores and would do everything they could in order to afflict us. I'm saying famines ravaged South America after all the disease and war that our oppressor was waging against us. You know what I'm saying? We had cities that were starving. Men, women, children. You know what I'm saying? The old, the babies. You know what I'm saying? Everyone in that land was suffering from hunger. You know, and there wasn't a damn thing we could do about it. We couldn't go out, we couldn't plant all the crops we needed. And if we did get them planted, then we couldn't go and harvest them because we were either too sick, or if we went out, we'd be murdered. I'm saying, by the Spaniards or the British, the French, Germans, so on and so forth. And those were things that were happening to us. So not only was it famines, but also what goes hand in hand with that was all the fruits and vegetables and grains that our oppressor was burning in order to get us to submit to him. I'm saying, whenever our oppressor comes into our lands, you know, he always wages some underhanded, sneaky tactic in order to get the people to submit to him. I'm saying, one tactic that he's always used is what's called, I believe, a scorched earth theory, which we went over in one of our classes before, where he would go, he'd take all the crops all the goods he could, and all the goods he needed, and then he'd burn the rest. He'd burn all the fields, all the grain houses. You know what I'm saying? He'd do anything he could in order to wipe out our food supply. Which that's exactly what this right here is talking about. It's talking about, you know, our oppressor going through and wiping out everything that we had in order to survive out here. And so much so that we'd have to go to him in order to even just live, even if it's just the tiniest bit. And that even goes into, if we are able to grow crops, you know, those crops aren't even our own. You can look at crops in South America, for example. All the goods that our people gather down there, saying all the beans and rice, tomatoes, and all the vegetables, all the cocoa, and so on and so forth, you know, that goes to our oppressor. That goes to the companies and corporations, you know, that have gobbled up everything in those lands. It made it to where people basically got to be their goddamn slave. You know, that goes to them. And then in return, they send that back up north, you know what I'm saying, up to America. Or they send it up to Canada. Or they send it across the sea over to Europe. You know what I'm saying? The things that even we grow in our own, what is so-called our lands, they aren't even our own. You know what I'm saying? And us as a people, we got to realize that something is wrong with that. Just like something is wrong with why you don't ever see, you know, black farmers out here anymore. After all the farmland was snatched up during Jim Crow era, you know what I'm saying? The farmers were lynched, their offspring were lynched, family was lynched, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? We got to ask ourselves, why is it that we don't have control over what it is that we grow, things in our land, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and read that from the top for you, because there's another thing I'd like to get into that us as a people we don't realize. I'm saying no matter how obvious it should be. Verse 24: The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. So, I mean, we know that crops need, I'm saying, water in order to get supplements, in order to survive. I'm saying we can go and we can look on the reservations, and we can look at, I'm saying, no matter how much water them crops get, no matter how much all these little supplements we get or herbs that we get, I'm saying, that have been proven to help crops prosper, you know what I'm saying, they will never be able to grow, never be able to yield a fruit that will sustain us for a certain period of time. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when, you know what I'm saying, us on the reservations, when we're put on the worst possible land in North America. You know what I'm saying? That's not by mistake. And our oppressor, he put us on these lands for a specific purpose, not only to afflict us and make sure that we suffer as much as possible, having to come to him for every little thing that we need, but it's also to fit these curses. I'm saying that was of the Lord for us breaking his laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm saying that's so he can show that no matter what happens, this curse fits up with who the Lord's chosen people are. You know what I'm saying? Gad is one of them. I'm saying so-called native Indians. That's one of the Lord's chosen people. I'm saying along with all the Hispanics who don't own a damn thing in their own lands, or what is supposed to be their own lands. No matter what it is that they do, they can't get any ownership. I'm saying, just like if you look at what was going on in the Amazon, you know what I'm saying, all these tribes that came up and would battle the white man in the court system and try to get ownership of their own land. They might have won a little victory, but then what happened? They had a wildfire break out. You know what I'm saying? Burning the Amazon to hell. You know what I'm saying? They might not have acres upon acres of open fields up down there, but yet they got their food up in them trees, up in that land. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. I'm saying, look at all the wars in the past that we've been through as a people. You know what I'm saying? All the wars that we fought against those that have came against us and tried to oppress us as a people. You know what I'm saying? Like the Native Indians, for example. You know, look at the battle of what's one? Of Fallen Timbers, or the Battle of Tippecanoe. You know what I'm saying? Bear Valley, Wolf Mountain, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many men it is that we bring against this beast, you know what I'm saying? This man that just looks to keep us under his boot heel. You know, he always manages to come out on top over us. He always manages to slay thousands upon thousands of us. You know what I'm saying? That's not just the American Indian wars. You know what I'm saying? That's also the wars that were happening between America and Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So I got to actually read from a paper here because I don't speak very good English. Saying like the Battle of Buena Vista, or Battle of Cerro Gordo or Sierra Gordo, or Battle of Molino del Rey. You know what I'm saying? And so many, many more. There were dozens upon dozens of battles fought. And in every case, you know what I'm saying, there were many casualties on our side, on the side of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know, we could bring 8,000 men against like 500 or so, and then we'd end up with thousands of casualties. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressor, he'd only suffer a couple dozen of casualties, if that. Maybe 10 or so injured. You know, that goes to show us that the Lord was not with us back then, because we were not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, because we were out here sinning and doing as we please. You know what I'm saying? We weren't doing what was expected of us as a people. And because of that, the Lord punished us for so. You know what I'm saying? He caused us to be destroyed before our enemies. And that's just documented history right there. That's just the things that, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor didn't destroy, or, you know what I'm saying, blot out of the history books. Because there were battles upon battles that were fought in order for us to try to make sure that our people do not end up at the bottom, to make sure that our people, I'm saying, are able to survive and not be wiped off the face of this earth. Saying when our oppressor first landed over here, you don't think natives and Hispanics, you know what I'm saying, would fight against them? You don't think they'd fight and try to push them up out of the land, try to push them back up on their ships so they'd sail away? You know what I'm saying, we tried all those things. We tried everything we could in order to get them up out of these lands. I'm saying, but we didn't have the Lord with us. So the Lord killed us. And he made it so that our enemies would be set over us. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that we make up in this truth. That's biblical fact. That our enemies would be put over us. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. Just look at all the wars that were fought. I'm saying that our oppressor is won. I'm saying no matter what battle you Google or Bing or whatever it is you use to look up, I'm saying you can always find a picture where we'll be going in one way to fight our enemy, to push them out, to make sure that he doesn't get further into our lands. What always ends up happening is he ends up beating us down so bad that we start fleeing in every single direction. So we start fleeing north, south, east, west, any way that we can in order to get away from our oppressor. So all you gotta do is look up a few things. Just look up the American Indian Wars. It was a Mexico-American War. You can always find a picture of Israelites fleeing in all directions from those that are looking to conquer us. How they even depicted in their movies. I'm saying any movie that they show where the U.S. Army is fighting either natives or Hispanics, it always shows the army pushing them back and Israelites always scattering in all directions. No matter which way it is, they're just trying to get out of there to survive. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you that, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of Israel. Because no other nation is depicted as doing so. No other nation has ever done that. You know what I'm saying? It's only our people that has fled in every single direction in sight in order to escape death, in order to escape slavery and the oppression of our enemies. Saying we're the only people that have done that. And we're going to continue to be the only people that do so unless we separate ourselves and start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the only way to do so is by coming into this school, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just historical facts. Because you can look up any historical battle, any historical massacre, and you can see that the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, have always, scattered and gotten the hell up out of there during any encounter with our oppressor. And even if we're winning a battle, we'll scatter a few times before we come back and try to beat our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? But even till today, we still flee in every single direction. We still look to get the hell up out of there whenever we see, I'm gonna say we see let's say how do I put this? I'm just keep it simple. I'm just gonna say the force or the the military of our oppressor coming through. Whenever niggas just chilling on the block, kicking it, having a good time. As soon as we see them berries and cherries, you know what I'm saying, we start running in every single direction. No matter if they're after us or not. I'm saying we start running and we don't stop running until we're sure that nobody has been following us or know where we are, so on and so forth. I'm saying I say military because in actuality, that's what the police force is. That is a military of our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? They got military grade weaponry, vehicles, saying men that strategize and operate as generals, so on and so forth. You know, they got a full on military here in the States making sure that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians stay submissive to them, stay submissive to their country, to their people. It ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new at all. And shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And you can look at all the battles that us as a people have been through. And you can look at what follows after those battles. And you can look at all the native Indians that fled into South America seeking asylum. All the natives that fled into North America just trying to get as far away as they can from our oppressor. You know, you can look at all those things, and that's not just in the Americas, but that also goes into the captivity that we've gone through, us as a people. And we've been rounded up and enslaved by all these nations that have invaded our lands, and they've just carried us off into Great Britain, you know what I'm saying, Africa, India, Middle East. So they've carried us off into all these lands. No matter what it is that we do to try to get back, we'll always be removed into these lands. We'll always be, you know what I'm saying, rounded up and shipped off as we always have been. Verse 26, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth. So that's self-explanatory. You can look at all the death that has happened throughout these lands, throughout North and South America, and you can see, you know what I'm saying, pictures or accounts of where, you know what I'm saying, ravens and eagles, vultures, you know what I'm saying, every goddamn bird that there is that has feasted upon the dead of our people. So and you can see accounts of where there have been so many dead that you can find like the next city, you know what I'm saying, a couple hundred miles away, just by following the birds that are circling around bodies. And just by following the sounds and all that they be making. You know what I'm saying? That's documented history. You can go back and you can look at these things and you can see of the swarms of birds in the sky throughout North and South America. You know what I'm saying, just following the dead. And just following those that are gonna end up being dead. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing new, and it will never be nothing new. Because even till this day, we still got birds that are picking out our dead. You know what I'm saying? Birds that are still picking out the eyes and eating the soft parts of our faces because we've been sitting out here dead on these streets and these fields for so damn long. It ain't nothing new to us as a people. Under the beasts of the earth. You can go back and you can look at all the dogs and hogs and so on and so forth that were eating the dead people of our nation. Saying after our oppressor came through our lands and our cities and mutilated our bodies, so you can come see what beast came and devoured us. Saying what beast came and dragged our bodies off to be fed by their young. You can look these things up. So you look at the dogs and all these other things that completely devoured us as a people. I'm saying, especially when our oppressor first landed over here, he would use such things to eat us up. He would use these beasts of the field to sick on us and to, you know what I'm saying, completely take us out as he has and as he still does today. So I saw a video recently of a brother that was murdered by police, and then they would allow their dog to sit there and you know what I'm saying, just maul the brother. You know I'm saying, sitting there shaking him and biting him, do all types of things to try to, you know I'm saying, just cause harm to that brother. And it ain't nothing new. Just like during civil rights, whenever the police would sick dogs on us. So you can go and you can find countless upon countless pictures of dogs mauling, you know what I'm saying, so-called blacks. And even to this day, you can go out and you can find all these pictures of police sicking dogs on blacks, of them biting and ripping their flesh. You know what I'm saying, as they're sitting there handcuffed and defenseless. You know what I'm saying, those are the beasts of the field that be devouring us as a people. And no man shall fray them away. So, I mean, no man will shoo them away. Will get them up off of your dead body. You know what I'm saying? No man is going to do such a thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like whenever we were too busy fleeing away from the U.S. Army, you know what I'm saying, whenever he beat back natives and Hispanics, hell, or even blacks, you know what I'm saying, we weren't able to go back and make sure that we can gather our dead. We weren't able to go back and hell make sure that the beasts, these these birds and these animals of the land would devour their bodies and mutilate them. You know what I'm saying? We weren't able to do such a thing. Because in reality, we were too busy trying to flee from our enemies. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole goddamn country after us back then. I'm saying we couldn't just double back and round up our dead like our oppressor allows. You know what I'm saying, people of his nation, you know what I'm saying, his brothers to do so. You know what I'm saying? He would allow the British or the French or Germans, Russians, you know what I'm saying, to go back and gather their dead. But if you were a Hispanic or Native Indian, you'd have to stay on the run. You couldn't try to negotiate and do what you could in order to go back and gather your brothers, or you know what I'm saying, your fathers, your uncles, grandparents, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. You couldn't do such a thing. Because at the end of the day, our oppressor, he would go back on his word and he would murder us just like he murdered, you know what I'm saying, our kinsmen. You know what I'm saying? Just like he murdered our brothers. Oh, not even goes until today. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no goddamn police officer gonna shoo the birds and the beasts from our bodies. I'm saying that's why they leave us dying on the sidewalks or dead out on the sidewalks, handcuffed for hours upon hours. So, and just so our bodies can be ravaged by all these animals beyond recognition. I'm saying it's not because they wait for backup or for like medical attention. You know, they do such a thing because it just shows you, you know, how much of a hatred that them as a people have for us. That they would leave us out on the sidewalk bleeding to death after they just shot us, knowing good and goddamn well that we didn't do anything illegal. You know what I'm saying? After they just let their hatred get the best of them. You know what I'm saying? They gun us down in cold blood or choke us out. You know, there's a reason that our oppressor does all these things. And all these things that our oppressor has done and still does today, it matches up with these curses in this book right here. And once us as a people, once we open this book up, saying all you gotta do is read in a couple books of the Bible, and you'll see these curses, and you'll see who these curses match up with, and you'll be able to tell who it is that the children of Israel really are. Verse 27, the Lord shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. So basically, this right here is saying the Lord is going to give us all these these diseases that are going to be so critical and detrimental to our health that we won't ever be able to recover from them. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you go and you look back at all the diseases that were spread all throughout North and South America. So, and these were all diseases that absolutely destroyed, you know what I'm saying, our health. No matter what condition we were in. So you can go back and you can look at the smallpox. You can look at the measles and the typhus and cholera that the Spaniards would bring over here. And you can go and you can look at how they absolutely destroyed, and I mean destroyed, our people to the point where it'd wipe out 90% and up, you know what I'm saying, of entire populations of lands. And that's what these critical and absolutely devastating diseases were doing to our people. So you can go back and you can look at how badly all these diseases that these are just a couple of diseases, by the way, that came upon our people. A couple of diseases that damn near completely wiped us off of the face of this earth. I'm saying you can go back and you can look at how deadly they were to our communities and to our people. You know, so deadly that to the point to where, you know, we were scattered upon the countryside from, you know what I'm saying, suffering deaths by these diseases, to where entire cities were infected and entire cities were wiped out by said diseases. And then were just a couple of diseases. You know what I'm saying? The European, he brought generations upon generations of sickness over here with him when he invaded these shores. Sickness that just oozed out of his skin and it came out when he talked. You know what I'm saying? That's how just infested and disgusting this beast was. That him talking alone, it caused some type of disease to come out and infect somebody. That just him being around, just standing in a goddamn corner, it would cause an entire city to collapse. So no other people has ever been afflicted by some type of disease as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? The Black Plague might have wiped out millions of Europeans. So that might be true. But then you gotta look at the 100 million of natives and Hispanics. I'm saying that these diseases wiped out. I'm saying when what happened to Europeans is nothing compared to what happened to Hispanics and Native Indians. So that's just a little blimp on the radar. That's all that is. And how long we suffered from said diseases and how we still suffer from said diseases even till this day. So and you can look at all the what was that happened a few years back? What was that, the swine flu? All the swine flu that affected our people, saying that we're getting us sick and I'm saying absolutely wiping us out. You know what I'm saying? The Zika virus that was ravaging, I'm saying, North America, that was taking out blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. You know I'm saying? We just got to go back and look at these, and we can see that the same thing that was happening to us even in the 21st century, the same thing was happening to us back then. So, like, verse 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness. You know what I'm saying, look at what madness is. You know what I'm saying? You look up what the definition of madness is. You know what I'm saying, it'll tell you that in a nutshell, it's foolish behavior. You know what I'm saying, or insanity. It's lucky. I'm saying just for one of the examples, for the fact that we're having a lecture to be coming out soon. You know what I'm saying? Just to shout it out. We'll look at the drugs in our communities. Look at all the foolishness of what getting high is doing to our people. You know what I'm saying? Our people being out here in the streets just trying to rob and murder one another. Out here driving while high, knowing damn well that they're going to end up passing out in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And crashing their whip. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the foolishness of such a thing. The foolishness of just bringing yourself down to such a low point to where you don't give a damn about anything that's going on in the world. That you don't give a damn about your people that are being oppressed every damn day. I'm saying that's what drugs do to our people. They make sure that our minds aren't set on anything specific or solid in some type of way. I'm saying, and we just look past all that foolishness, all the foolishness of setting these narcotics above. I'm saying, having a better standard of living. I'm saying, which is why so many people of our people, Slovakia, are out on the streets living. Or so many of our people are homeless and having to sell themselves in order to get by. So that is straight foolishness. But yeah, us as a people, we just see it as a way of life. We just see it as, shoot, some that's just going on. You know what I'm saying, it's been going on. It's going to continue to go on. That's what we view it as. In reality, we do such foolish behavior of risking our lives and destroying our lives, destroying the lives of those close to us, and so on and so forth. We do these foolish things because of the drugs and the narcotics that we're taking. That's going to make us think that these things are okay to do, and they're going to alter our minds and our way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And blindness. You know what I'm saying? Blindness, when it's talking about blindness, Slakia. When it's talking about blindness, it's talking about lack of perception, you know what I'm saying, or awareness, or judgment, you know what I'm saying, these type of things. So when we're out here getting high, saying just worrying about when the next time it is that we're gonna get high, so we're just worrying about how drugs in general, I'm just saying we're not gonna be perceptive of what's going on around us. We're not gonna be Slovakia. Slovakia. I'm saying we're not gonna be looking into the future of not only our lives, but you know, the lives of our communities and our people as a whole. I'm saying not only that, but when we're out here getting high, I'm saying high 24/7. I'm saying we're not gonna be aware of what's going around us. We're not gonna be aware of all the blacks that are gunned down in these streets. You know what I'm saying, mass incarcerated. You know what I'm saying, and the agenda set out against us to keep us doing such things, to keep us incarcerated, and to keep us out here killing each other, so on and so forth. We're not going to be perceptive of all our Hispanic brothers being rounded up and hell enslaved. I'm saying of all the drugs pumped into South America to make sure that our people keep up this lifestyle of just hating one another, of making sure that we prioritize money and drugs over our own people. We're not gonna be perceptive of, you know what I'm saying, how the natives should Slovakia living out in, you know what I'm saying, the boonies and the worst lands that there is possible. You know what I'm saying, we're not gonna realize and recognize these things when we're out here dulling our minds with all these drugs. But because of the oppression that we've gone through, and of all the ideas and philosophies that have been pushed onto us, you know what I'm saying, we don't recognize that these things, that this is being pushed on us, that this is becoming a mainstream type thing. You know what I'm saying, because of Slovakia. We'll go to where I'm looking for here. So we don't realize these things because we're too busy dulling ourselves and trying to smoke the pain away and smoke away, you know, the reality of this world. When in reality, we should be acknowledging the reality of our oppressor hating us and him hating us for 400 plus years. We should be acknowledging the reality that no matter how much we love our oppressor, no matter how much it is that we build ourselves up and build this image of the American dream, that our oppressor is still going to want to murder us in these streets, just like he always has. I'm saying we just bat it off. We look at it as if, hell, really, we look at it as if it's not happening. Us as a people, just like whenever I'm saying any of us are in the world. I'm saying we try to talk about these things that are going on. We try to talk about the oppression of our people. Because let's face it, I'm saying a majority of the people we used to hang out with in the world, I'm saying they were drug addicts. I'm saying we ourselves, we were drug addicts. We were out there smoking weed. I'm saying doing coke, heroin, popping shrooms, pills, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we'd bring these out to the people we used to get high with, you know what I'm saying, they would just say it's a way of the world. It's how things are. It's how things are always going to be. So that just shows us how little we truly care about our people. Because in reality, just like all these other nations would, us as a people, we should be trying to change these things. We should be trying to take actions in order to make sure that our people do not become drug addicts as us. That we try to make sure that our people don't end up on the bottom as we have been for 400 years. Yet those of us in the world, we still, you know what I'm saying, we make excuses to stay a drug addict. We make excuses in order to make sure that our people are not at the bottom and underneath the boot heel of our oppressor as we have been for so goddamn long. And so many of us used to do it. So many of us do it till today. I'm saying not the men in this truth, but those of us out in the world, it's like those of you out in the world. You know what I'm saying? You still do it to this day. You still make excuses. You still look for reasons as to why our people should be oppressed and destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Just like anytime a black man or woman gets wrongfully murdered by one of these racist cops out here, I'm saying you start making excuses for the officer, saying, "Oh well, he shouldn't have been resistant. He should have just followed what the officer said to do. I'm saying he should have followed the laws of the land." I'm saying that shows us just how much of a hatred we have for our own. Even if we're out here doing drugs, so-called getting enlightened, we still have a hatred for our own people. Saying, but when we put them drugs down, when we start to cast aside all the marijuana and cocaine and crack and pills and K2 shrooms, saying peyote, LSD, ecstasy, so on and so forth. The list goes on and on. I'm saying we start to open our eyes and we start to realize that we are being targeted, you know what I'm saying, by our oppressor for such things. That we're being destroyed for such things. And once we open this book, we'll realize and accept that we are being destroyed because we are turning our back against our Father, against the Most High God, the God of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? When we start to realize these things, Salaki. So we're going to go ahead and end the class. So we're getting upon our deadline here. I'm saying it's time for us as a people to realize that we're being targeted and destroyed. I'm saying incarcerated. All these drugs are coming to us for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just as it's documented biblically. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord let us know what would be happening to us in these last days. So whether you believe it or not, we are in these last days. I'm saying World War III is at hand, and America or Babylon is falling. I'm saying fallen to rise no more. I'm saying no matter how much you love it, no matter how much you dedicate all your time and resources to it, as us as a people always have, we've always thrown lumps upon lumps of money at America. We've always given our blood, sweat, and tears to it, fighting in its military, and so on and so forth. The list just goes on and on and on and on. I'm saying no matter how much we do all those things, the Lord is going to bring America down. I'm saying the Lord is going to destroy anyone, whether you are the Lord's chosen people, whether you're one of these disgusting heathens. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to destroy you with America. Saying, which is why the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command GEN.YAHANNA, which is why we fight so hard in order to bring our people into this truth. Because we don't want a single goddamn black, Hispanic, or Native Indian to perish, you know what I'm saying, with America. We don't want anyone to be destroyed in these lands. We want everybody to get to this kingdom. But your time is running out. Your time is getting shorter and shorter. And if you don't come into this school, into this truth, whether you're in one of these fake camps preaching this fake doctrine, whether you're an Individualite, I'm saying you will be destroyed with America. Because this is the one body under Christ. We are the people, you know what I'm saying, that were ordained by the Most High God to raise our people up and to teach these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else, you're just a rebellious child looking to seek your own glory, your own vain glory at that. We're going to go ahead and get into the closing announcements. Salaki. The security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, verse 8 to 10 means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. So you can go to our website online, www.ISUPK.com. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you go to the website, the tithes will pop up, put in your information, bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? It only takes a couple minutes to do. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or war scarf. Salakia. So I majum, which means to stand. Upanya Hakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaika, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakum, Ka, Yawam, Slakia, Wasalakanawa, Kabawatanawa, Kasalakanawa, Kabawathiyanawa, Wala'a, Babayayanawa, Banasayawan, Ball, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwat, Wa'ala, Wa the Parath, the Awalamyam, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. The prayer for the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babakashah. Nathananawa. Hakak. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Ka Makala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakim. Hamathium. Hakak. Al-Rakawath. Atama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashim Yahushai. The water Aman. The prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. The prayer for the blessings in the Slakia, in the Hebrew, Brakada Yahweh, Slakia, Yahushua, Wam Yakala, Walahayim, Madizabiyah, Alawap Yahana, Haawapium, Hazaranyum, Aquatazayanyum, Akareayum, Waquathian, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, the water Aman. Pray for the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Sar, which means a turn. We're going to go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatham. Yazim Atah. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Al-Tham Ba'Shem Yahushua. Yazim Atah. Class dismissed.